Communication is one of the most important aspect of every manager, right? Communication is one of the most important aspect of every manager. Whether it's a manager or a leader, they want the communication to be more and more effective. I want my communication to be effective, successful, and I am expecting the right response from my communication. So communication will happen in a company, communication will happen in a family, communication will happen socially. Whenever I communicate something to others, what generally happens? If the people who are listening to me are not responding to me, I generally label them as stupid people, very slow people, irresponsible, they are not accountable, they don't have listening power, they don't understand. We tend to say a lot of descriptive meanings about people who don't respond to us. But is it the right way to deal with communication? If the communication that I make is not going to yield the results that I expect, should I blame somebody else for that? Or should I take up the responsibility and try to correct it? Who is accountable for it? It's only me. If I have to get the response from people, I have to communicate it right. So remember this one phrase. The meaning of right communication is the response you get. The meaning of right communication is the response you get. You speak to somebody, if they are not responding to you, then there is some serious problem in the way that you have communicated to that person. You need to have a retrospective view on the communication that you have made with a particular person. I cannot just blame people. I cannot just blame environment. I cannot blame the surroundings. Nothing to be blamed other than yourself. Now remember the second phrase. A person who is flexible, will control people like never before. A person who is flexible will control people like never before. If you are ready to change the way you communicate by understanding that you're not getting the required response, then I'm sure soon you will become one of the best communicators in the world. So communication is more and more effective when you understand the people and communicate according to people. Generally, the very common mistake that we make while doing communication is we tend to put the blame on the person who is listening to us rather than correcting our way of communication. So, when we change by adapting different strategies to communicate with people, there could be one strategy that will get huge responses from people. Identify that and start following it again and again. And one more thing, a communication that is effective with one group of people may not be effective with another group of people. So you cannot use the same strategy across different groups of people, different categories of people, types of people, or different individuals. You need to use different strategies for different people by using different communication techniques. But you need to be very, very data oriented here. You need to look at the response you're getting here. If I'm not going to get response, and if you're going to repeat the same communication again and again, then it classifies yourself as an ineffective manager because of ineffective managerial communication. So I'm ending my speech with one phrase, that is, the right meaning of communication is the response you get. So try to make your communication more clear in different ways, in different modes, so that your people starts understanding you and start giving response to you. Okay. So thank you so much for listening to me regarding communication. Stay tuned to me for more information on managerial and leadership principles.